and welcome to the 11th episode of the Weekly Football Talk. I am once again your host, Lee Lublin, and today we will once again be recapping another Buccaneers game. This time it was the 7-3 Buccaneers versus the 6-5 Indianapolis Colts. And to just get right into it, the Bucs ended up winning a very close game, 38-31, and it was a pretty important win for Tampa, as the pretty big narrative coming into that game was how much worse the Buccaneers were on the road compared to how they played at home. So this was kind of a big game to kind of prove that, hey, we're still a team that can also compete and win on the road. So the game started honestly, the first half felt very similar to how the Washington game went, where the defense was doing not the best job, but they were doing a pretty good job with everything that they were kind of left with. And the offense was just massively underperforming. Both teams really couldn't do much in the first quarter. Tampa's first drive literally ended with a net 5-yard punt. It was a really bad punt. It was pretty much a turnover. Even though it wouldn't be marked on the sheet, it was a turnover for both Bucs. But the defense held the Colts to the field goal, and there was a lot of back and forth, punting, turnovers, and then Tampa finally scored. Then Indianapolis from there, I believe, ran 14 unanswered points on the Bucs and ended up making it 17-7. And I believe going into halftime, it ended up being 24-14 Indianapolis. So Tampa was down 10 going into halftime, with the Colts getting the ball first. So Indianapolis in the second half, they started it with the ball and they were driving, and kind of the game-changing play that kind of changed everything was Levante David was able to strip. No, I apologize. Carson Wentz got hit on a play, sacked, recovered, Bucs ball. From there, they're able to score, make it a 3-point game, and then the next Eagles drive. Once again, they're moving down the field pretty efficiently, and then around the 40-yard line, Carson Wentz tries a deep ball. Kind of one where you'd be like, okay, best case it's a touchdown, worst case it's probably just incomplete. But Antoine Winfield Jr. made an incredible play and got a huge interception and a pretty good return to go along with it. And from there, Tampa was able to score another touchdown. The offense had finally woken up. And at that point, they went up 28-24. Another bad Colts possession. The Bucs get the ball back. They actually finally have their first bad possession in the second half. They punt it, and the Colts returner, Niall Hine, ends up fumbling it. Bucs get the ball deep in the Colts territory. Not been able to do much, but they're still able to get a field goal, make it a 7-point game. And then the Colts, with about 10 minutes left, go on a very nice, long drive, end up ending it with a touchdown. Their one score of the second half to make it a tie game with 2 minutes left. And I think even Colts fans especially, were not too shocked to see, with 2 minutes left, Tom Brady orchestrate a game-winning drive with Leonard Fournette running in for a 15-yard touchdown, which ended up being his 4th of the day. Leonard Fournette had one of probably the best day of his career, looking at his total stats. One of the best days of his career. And from there, they were up 7 with 20 seconds left, and the Colts did make it interesting by getting a very long kickoff return to actually get into Bucs territory. They were only about 30 yards away from the end zone, but Tampa's defense was able to step up, ended up picking off the attempted game-winning pass, and Tampa moves to 8-3. Indianapolis falls to 6-6. They're still very much in the AFC playoff race, and if the Titans don't find their groove, they might still have a small chance at their division as well. Tampa It's looking pretty likely, especially if we're winning against Atlanta next week. It looks like Tampa's probably going to lock up their division sooner rather than later. So, yeah, that's it for this week. Next week, another recap. More football. We're getting into the home stretch of the season. This is where games start to matter a lot more on the record sheet. So, it should be very interesting to see what happens. So, that's it. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Peace.